Praise the Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. Now, this topic right here, I know this will raise a lot of eyebrows. But for those who read the Bible, and you don't even have to be a Bible scholar or anything, you don't. If you just, read the Bible enough, I believe it is clear in the Bible that men should provide for women. Men should provide for women. Period. When a girl baby is born, a girl baby from birth, she has a father. She has two grandparents. And of course, Most High. Of course, Most High. And these men, her father and two grandparents, Lord willing, will raise her, follow her through life. Then one day, when she marries, then she will also have a husband that will provide for her. It's not that her father and grandparents and Most High, it's not that they are no longer involved. It's not that she no longer has their love and support. That's not the case. So we have to remember when we read the Bible, yes, the Bible is inspired by Most High, the Creator. I believe it's inspired. I believe I'm inspired by Most High, the Creator, to be speaking right now. I'm inspired by Him. Just like the people, and there were many people who wrote stuff and contributed to the Bible. They were inspired. Just like you may be some type of content creator or, you are inspired in this life to do something. We're all under Most High's inspiration, if that makes sense. So, with that being said, when you read the Bible, keep in mind that the people that wrote it, they wrote it as best they could. Just like I'm speaking as best I can. I'm trying to explain what I'm inspired by as best I can, based on my education level, ability to communicate. There are a lot of factors that goes into delivering a message, especially writing it down. So keep in mind, for example, with the creation story, for example, it was written by Moses. And if you know anything about Moses' life in the Bible, he wasn't a very happy man. He had to be pretty pissed off for at least 40 years of his life. You know what I'm saying? And then he didn't even make it to the promised land. He was able to see it. So when he writes stuff, he gonna be writing it from a very kind of like, I don't know, from his perspective. Even though he's inspired by Most High, he is still writing and explaining what he's inspired by within his experience, his abilities, his gifts, his talents. So when he say leave and cleave, I mean, from birth, he pretty much was put in a river, you know what I mean? Raised by somebody else and then had to flee and, marry, um, and get married to this family. This man has 7 daughters and stuff, so his life, the way he explains stuff, we just have to keep that in mind. So I don't think it's smart for any man nor any woman to quote unquote like leave, you know what I mean? Their physical families per se. You know what I mean? Like just because you get married and say I do don't mean you have to like cut everybody off and block them and never talk to them again. Or don't hang out with nobody or anything. So you can just cleave to each other and make it through this life as best you can. It's not quite like that, literally. Because in the example of the creation story, if you think about it, just open your mind up a little bit. The earth is the mother, and Most High is the father. When he blew his breath of life like sperm, when he blew when he did that into the earth, a womb, which was moist. Come on now, it was a mist, dust and mist, the earth, water, wetness and stuff. Breath of life, sperm. So yeah, with that combination going on, the original parents, when you look at the original parents, my goodness, yeah, Adam and Eve were to kind of leave. I mean, like, I mean, Adam and Eve didn't have like physical parents like us, based on what the Bible describes. So, with Most High blowing through the earth like he did, yeah, you gotta rise on up above the ground and go. Become mobile. You got feet, move around with your feet and go get your help, you know. Keep up with your help. Because this woman gonna be on the move. She's curious. She's curious. She's here to help you, more like a guide. Now you can lead, but even leaders need some type of inspiration. Ooh, ay, ay. Mm. Leaders need inspiration. And that's what women are. Help. Help you lead. Lead what? That's between you and Most High. Most High will tell you what you're leading. I mean, like, the help is not going to know everything. We don't need to know what you know. We really don't. We just need you to communicate to us so that we can help you. We can guide you. We can go get the information. We're like your news feed, you know, news feed to the lead. Especially assigned to you, you know. So again, back to the title, men are to provide for women. And once a woman has a husband, we like using titles wife and husband. I just like using a man's name and his helper has a name, you know. And help should get paid. Pay the help. The woman is a helper. Pay her, feed her, clothe her. So what? So that she won't bite your ass. We're trained to not bite the hand that feed us. I mean, So according to the Bible, men that have women in their lives, whether this woman is your legal wife, a concubine, a sugar baby, a baby mama, a slave, whatever, a legal wife, a legal wife, all wives. So any woman that a man claims, any woman that a man claims, especially on an ongoing basis, he is to provide for those women forever. Men are the providers of women, period. Every woman a man is seriously involved with is your woman for life. For life. This must be acknowledged. It's nature's way of check and balance. When a man know that he has this woman, this woman, this woman, or whatever, he may want one woman, two, three, whatever. I don't know, I'm just saying. And these women are assigned to him for his lifetime, his lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Then he can manage his life better. He will know exactly how many women are needed for his kingdom. Some men want small kingdoms. They don't even want no big kingdom. They really don't. There are men who just want to simply have one wife, a couple of kids, maybe rent an apartment, maybe have a car, you know what I mean? And keep his life that tight and simple. That's his choice. It's a choice. And then there are men who are like Nick Cannon, and every woman that love him, he wants to be committed and have a family for life. And he wants a large kingdom. And he happens to make money to do this. These women choose to be in his life, and I don't see a problem with it. Likewise, there are women who are very good at managing multiple men for her queendom. you know, just like with men, some women in his life represent mothers, others in his life may represent really just sex only. Others may be his money makers. I mean, he may have his own business and do whatever he do and all that, whatever, whatever. But the different women in his life can represent different things to keep his legacy and wealth going forever. I mean, forever. This woman is assigned to you forever in a certain capacity. Likewise for a female. It's not different for a female. Now, most women are the types that will need provision for their whole life. Some women are like that. And then there are women who will never get married. They will never get married. You couldn't pay them. You couldn't even pay them to get a husband. That's just how much they don't want one. You couldn't even pay them. So women like that, hell, I mean, they gonna need people working for them. They gonna need as many men on their team as possible. Men to build with, men to, some of these women don't even want kids. Don't even want kids. So, these are the ones who are like, governors of states and stuff like that. Women like, running for president. I'm not saying these women shouldn't have kids. I'm not saying that. If they have the right type of men in their life, you know, they can have men that are very supportive of their children. And as long as each man that she has a child by is taking care of his kid, because again, men are the providers. So the switch can be flipped at any time for a woman. Once she flipped that switch your way and claim you a certain way, you know, then you are her provider in that capacity. So it just depends on the man and the woman and what divine most high has planned for them. But I believe the majority of the women in this world, the majority, need to be provided for, as the Bible says. And there are exceptions, of course, for women who will not be wives, will not be mothers. There are always exceptions, just like there will always be men who will never be with a woman. There are men who do, they just don't want to be bothered. And I ain't mad. And they don't have to be quote unquote gay either because they don't want to be bothered. There's more to interacting with a woman than just having sex and never see her again. That's not kingdom behavior. Most High will never know a man like that. He will never know a man like that. A man that's just going through life having a lot of sex without paying. There's a the worldly matrix for stuff like that. A place called hell for men like that. But men that are in the divine matrix, there is a divine matrix. And men in the divine matrix are all connected. They're all connected generationally because they provide for the women and children in their lives forever. That is the only way the kingdom of Most High multiplies. When the men provide for the women through and through, and there's no cracks between the men's networking because it's all connected. All the brothers are basically holding hands because they are the grandfathers, which is, two generations of grandparents. And then you got fathers. And then in that matrix, you have the divine matrix, you have uncles and cousins and brothers, all these other people in the divine matrix, in the family. And within the kingdom, if there's any violations, there are also built in corrective measures because divine most high, he wants us to be fruitful and multiply at all times. And he is always willing and ready to restore areas in the matrix where there is some type of violation. He has his own court system to measure and discern and judge cases in the kingdom. He does it in his own time and in his own way. The natural system and the worldly system, for example, I live in America. So in the America governmental world system, we, mimic the most high matrix, but it is severely flawed. And that's why it gets a little confusing at times when the divine matrix and the worldly matrix, are in violation. It creates wars. When the worldly matrix and its ways of cheating and stealing and destroying and killing, when that system tries to interact with the divine matrix of Most High, when there's a violation between those two systems, yes, that does create war. It creates war. And trust me, every single time the divine Most High wins, he always wins. He always wins. So, in the divine Most High's matrix, in his, among his laws, things are done different. It's based on fruitfulness and multiplication. Very simple math. It's based on kindness, treating each other with the fruits of the Spirit. And those of us who are in the matrix, we experience it and it's beautiful. It's rare to come across people in the matrix, but when you do, you know it and you treasure it. you know, some of us have family members in both worlds. And to a degree, we're all a part of both worlds. We shop among each other, work among each other, and there are all kinds of beings in the world system, in the natural, physical, carnal world system. The part of the natural, carnal, you know, native land that I dwell on, walk around on, is an offspring of the divine. It's America. I'm in America. That's where I was born, where the breath of life entered into my dirt. You know what I'm saying? We all have that moment. Each of us, we keep multiplying. That's the point. We keep multiplying. Mm, interesting. We keep multiplying. And we're scattered all over the earth. The divine matrix. So the divine most high matrix is a spiritual blowing of the breath of life into the earth, into a body, a physical body. So that's how we all are a part of both systems. But yet, that's how we, the divine, are a part of the system. That's how we are. We're disguised as humans. So again, we work among the worldly matrix. We work within the worldly matrix around people. We drive, we live in houses, you know, we don't conform, but we do interact with the world. And so, with that being said, those that are born male, that are boys, those that are born boys are to work, are to work and to allow women to help them. Women are like the guides of the lead. There are some things men just can't see. There are some things women just can't see, girls can't see. And we balance each other out. So males, boys are assigned to be leaders. They are assigned to be providers. They are assigned to work for Most High. We're talking about the divine Most High matrix here that is born into the world fleshly carnal system. Most High sends us here by his own breath of life. We're here to keep order on earth among the people that are not divine. That's the only way I can put it. The people that are not divine. We're here to keep order. And right now, things are like really out of order, as everyone is aware. Laws are changing like overnight. I don't remember that ever happening. as a child where laws could change that fast. I mean, there's always that executive authority to do certain things, but for the most part, we saw those commercials on TV, like, I'm just a bill, on Capitol Hill and all that kind of stuff. So we understood early, the process of, change. But we've been infiltrated. The worldly system is going through some type of infiltration. There's well, people are familiar with the words like New World Order. Yeah, there's a new way of doing things. Things are shifting, and we're all like just kind of like on standby and entertaining each other, really. Kind of like the Titanic boat. Remember the movie Titanic? Yeah. The boat is sinking, and you know how the band still played. That's kind of like what's going on right now. Some people are sinking right now, and you know, and some people are on the safety boats, the emergency boats. And the only thing anybody can do is just wait and pray until all the storms and wars and changes and laws and, you know, assassination attempts and murders and, at high levels. We all see the changes that are occurring at the higher levels. They may not be saying much, but we see it, the higher levels of the worldly matrix. Even though divine, most high um, representatives are here, this is not our world, though. We don't, we're here to, keep things, in order. We're here to help. There you go. We're here as helpers. We're here to help on earth, but we don't run this place. We don't run it, but we're here to help. We have males and females, divine male and females in our matrix, and we're here to help. We're not here to hurt anybody. But, you know, if you all that are here, you know, get out of line, I mean, we know how to handle it. If you get out of line, we know how to handle it. But we're not here to harm anybody. We're here to help. We're here to help. And one way to help you all, whoever you are, we know who we are, but do you know who you are? You know what I'm saying? But we're here to help. And one way to help the world system to be at peace, men need to provide for the women and children. More men need to provide for the women and children that they have claimed sexually, claimed emotionally, claimed financially, you know, whatever capacity that a woman is helping you pay her by providing for her for the rest of your life. Now, the Bible speaks of if a woman leaves you, I mean, if she leaves you, it's because she's going back to her family. Let her go. Yep, let her go. But men need every woman that they commit themselves to. for the rest of his life. So that's why men should never divorce. Men can't afford to divorce. They can't. Not in, definitely not in the divine matrix. The divine most high matrix, the way he has it set up, the 12 tribes, and then the nation of women, the way he have us set up, that's why we're advising you all to do something similar. You all need to do something because there are just too many women that are not being provided for. And you guys are laughing and thinking this is funny. Well, maybe to you it's funny, but to Most High it's not. Most High is not laughing. Most High is not laughing at the fact that men have sex with women and then discard them. He's not happy with that. You may be happy with that. You might get a kick out of that or a laugh out of that. But Most High don't. He don't. And at some point, women and children may actually retaliate. They may retaliate. I mean, since there's so many more women supposedly than men, and then there's so many kids. So between a bunch of women and kids, men can be overtaken. I'm talking about in the worldly system, in the worldly matrix system. If the women and children outnumber the men exponentially, then they can be overtaken. Men can be overtaken. Yeah, they can be starved out in that system where they just going around having sex for free. If men are just running around having sex for free, trying to live with this woman and live with that woman and her kids and live with this woman and her kids, just bouncing around from, single and divorced women with kids. There are men, they make that their career. They may work every day and, have a job and stuff, but at the end of the day, they bounce from one woman and her kids to the next, looking for support and provision and care. Whether they have a job or not, it's still the same mindset. That's what the worldly matrix system do. Like I said earlier, the divine most high matrix does it differently. He is fruitful, multiplies with kindness. You know, totally different system. The men provide for women and children forever. Women and children do not have to provide for themselves at all in most high system. And sometimes in order to fill a gap or correct, a violation in the system, he may appoint women for a season, for a reason. Like, for example, I am the matriarch in my family, because it's just me, my two daughters, and my eight grandchildren, and then the people that love and support us. We have, we have a large group of people that love and support us. But as far as me, my my wound stretches 2 generations right now. I will always be pregnant. My belly will always be sticking way out for 2 generations. Period. So, yeah, we live in two different worlds. And those of us who are divine, our inside is our father and our outside is our mother. And as long as we stick with our family, we will stay divine. But if we violate our divine matrix, if we violate and get caught up and conform to that worldly matrix system, then that creates wars. It creates wars because we always go after ours. We don't just leave ours out there to die. We don't. We know who ours is and who ours is not. And we understand sometimes there are violations like mixing. Sometimes divine people will mate with people that are in the world system. And that's where a lot of our violations come from. When we mate outside of our matrix, the divine matrix, breeding, that create wars. They just kind of disrupt all over the world from time to time. There's always complaints about us because, we're scattered everywhere. So just keep this in mind. So to make this more personal, because I do share my personal divorce journey on this channel, to bring it down to where you can understand what I just said to like my own personal life. All right. So for example, in my first marriage, uh, he always had other loves. That was just him. That was just him. And but I divorced him because he was replacing me. There was another woman in the background who was becoming aggressive. She even called me, you know what I mean? And when I left, before we even divorced or anything, she moved into our home. And so that's a story. That's a story. But most recently, and I've shared that story bits and pieces on my channel, bits and pieces. But she, after all these years, many, many years have gone by, many, many years. Um, they end up getting married, having kids and stuff. And, you know, eventually over time, um, she and I and my two kids, her two kids, were able to, live like family, keep it simple. And so um, she had asked at one point along the way that if anything ever happened to her, could I, raise her daughters with mine since they were sisters? And I told her yes. I told her yes. And, she and I, we were cool, but not close, close, close. Well, look how things started. I didn't have any input on her being in my life. I didn't have any input. So it was kind of forced on me. But, eventually, we became more like sister wives, I divorced him and married somebody else and all that, but we still became like sister wives. We spent time together with our kids and, you know, made it made a good life. We made a good life. So you may hear me, talk my smack about the situation, but at the end of the day, she and I were able to repent. Now I don't know about him, men are men, you know, men do men stuff. But we women were able to come together and create a good life for our daughters. Not perfect, nowhere near perfect, but we were able to repent. And because of, you know, my promise to her, um, because of that promise, she recently is married. I didn't know anything about the marriage or anything. I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't invited or nothing like that. Again, the girls are grown, and like my baby is 31, and her kids they're not too much younger. So her daughter's in their 20s, and she's a grandma too. And you know what I'm saying? We're old now. We're 50. You know what I'm saying? We're 50, and we got grown kids and grandkids. So we are way past when we both were in our 20s, with young kids by this man. You know what I'm saying? So we're way past that. And so she's recently married. And so now that she's married and I look at her, my daughter has showed me some pictures on her phone. I was like, oh, that is so cute, because that's my sister. So I see that she's made it. I looked at the picture. I just read, I just read and say, okay, okay, she's set. I look at I say, she is set. Okay, she good. She good. Got her a white man, what I'm saying. Okay. But she ain't like she gonna be having no babies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? She good. It was a smart move, I think. A good move. And because she's good, I feel like I'm good. Her daughters are grown. She's a grandma now, and she's married off. So I feel that, I feel good about that. It brings closure to that whole situation. I married that man when I was 20 years old, and I'm 55 and have experienced this month complete closure from that marriage, all the way until, his second wife is remarried, and I think she's good. From here, she's cool. She ain't, I mean, not that she ever needed me, but I just take stuff like that serious because I read the Bible. In the Bible, men that have multiple wives under whatever circumstances, it's best when these women work together. It work out for the kids. Now, men, however, uh, not enough of them, leave inheritance for their children, and they definitely don't want to pay no alimony. But so I believe she and I should be getting paid from him. We both are wives for life. No matter who we marry, even the new husbands, whatever, they should be paying us out too. Any man that loves a woman, that's your wife, you got to pay her for life because she's assigned to you. She's helping you. And this is a lifetime thing in the divine. Again, this is what divine, most high wants. The world system does not require this. The world system. Abraham, he left Sarah's kids an inheritance. He left Hagar's kids some inheritance. And he had like a third wife toward the end. And he left everybody some. That's what the Bible say do. Maybe I'm talking to divine people right now because we need to get our stuff together on this side. But definitely in the world system, I'm just recommending it. Men, be responsible for the women that you love for the rest of your life. As long as a woman want to be with you and you agree to it, that's for the rest of your life. It'll make your life and her life a lot easier. She don't have to worry about anything and will be available to you. Each woman is different, so if you want women that only let you be the only man or whatever, there's all so many dynamics. Fine, whatever. Find the kind of women that just want one man, no matter how many women he have. Find that kind of woman. Then there are women who want the option to have another because maybe one man don't have enough resources for her dream. Because again, keep in mind, these women are divine women and most high also has plans for them. Yeah, plans to help you, but just because she's there to help you don't mean that she don't have her own instructions, her own purpose and calling in life. And it's your job to make sure you provide what she needs, whether it's emotional, sexual, spiritual, of course, because, divine is in the midst. You know what I'm saying? And what you can't do, then you have sister wives. She may have sister wives, or if you don't want no other woman, but just maybe one woman, but if your wife need more resources than what your marriage provides or your family, where you come from, your uh, father and grandparents and whatever, because we believe in generational wealth. That's the only way we can survive on earth. We're not a part of their system. We're not a part of their system. So we must have generational wealth. Now, do we interact with their system? Yeah, but we don't conform, depend on it. We depend on Most High with His network plan, His divine plan. So, again, I know this message sounds really weird. So he is married, she is married, the kids are grown. I feel like I did my job as the first wife. As the first wife to my first husband and his second wife and her kids. And he's on wife number 3. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've met her and I think she's a wonderful woman, beautiful, a queen. You know what I'm saying? But so I have complete closure with that situation, 100%. He and I have grandkids together. I would have loved to be able to have, mutual time with our grandkids, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that. He can develop the relationship he want with the grandkids just as I have. There's nothing stopping him. Husband number 2, totally different situation. Okay. So I entered the marriage day 1, sharing him with his birthday twin in an obvious way. In an obvious way. Okay, so this is a woman who, as far as I know, they never dated or anything like that. I question it, but I'll just stick with the script that he gave me. And now at the time, I didn't question anything at the time. But now that I'm here, free and at liberty to think without all the trickery involved, all the distractions and stuff, I have a clear mind now. And I can look back and see everything for what it really, really, really was. All right, so I entered the marriage sharing him, um, with someone that he really wanted to be with, but she didn't want him that way. And that was what I was told. All right, so I had to suffer through that. But it was fun because, she was a part of the family and we always had a good time at family dinners and wherever we would go. Her family was connected to my husband's family. So it was what it was. So I won't include her. She rejected him and ended up marrying somebody else. So that's cool. Later in our marriage, though, later in our marriage, after my daughter was grown, my daughter was what, 18, 19? Like 18, 19. Let's say 19. Let's give it a strong 19. Okay. So she brings a friend home and we help the friend. Okay. We allow the friend to move in and help her get her life together. She was a troubled teen and we helped her out. Period. It was more me because I'm a woman, so it was more me. Hubby worked all the time, so he wasn't really there. And if he wasn't working, I had him running the boys around, the adopted boys. He was running them around, going to church. So he was a busy, busy man. He didn't have time to be doing much else between work, the boys' church, and, maybe a thing to here and there. And then again, he had his secret life that I didn't know about. Okay. He's always had a secret life. But the obvious part was that birthday twin. So later on, he gets involved with our daughter's girlfriend. So I call her a sugar baby. So let's just say this is around maybe year 2012. So 2012, the sugar baby comes to the family. So let's say by 2014. By 2014, something is going on between them. This woman lives in my home. She's 2021 living in my home. By 2014, it is obvious that something's going on. Now, this is 2024. Okay. So let's say they've been involved for 10 years now. Now she, has, you know, baby daddies and babies and stuff. He's helped her on that journey buying DNA tests and whatever they were doing. I just did, I noticed what they were doing, but I did not keep up with them because, you know, I had kids. I got kids and grandkids to focus on. And I read the Bible. And when a man takes on a wife, um, whether you give it the title sugar baby, concubine, whatever you want to call it, this woman live in her home. He feed her. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's taking care of this girl. And she decided to post up and get her a spot. And she's been there ever since. Even though he just married his white woman this summer. So again, from the first marriage, she just got married to a white man. And then now y'all hear me talking about the second marriage. So the second marriage, he got sugar baby still on his cash app. And now he's married to, an older white woman. He's married to an older white woman. And I be mean. I'm gonna be honest and say the mean part of me comes out, and I be, poking fun at her. Hey, I give myself permission to do that because she was a secret. Okay, she secretly came behind and married my husband. There you go. So the least I can do is poke at her a little bit here and there. That's just fair. And she walked off. Forget about the husband part. We had an open marriage, so he could do what he wanted. I just wanted him to be honest about it, but he refused to be honest. So I just kept it open and kept myself honest. Period. So this girl's, she sneaks on in. And so he's married to an older white woman. But Sugar Baby is what, barely 30. So he got it good. You know what I mean? And of course he lying to his white woman saying, some other shit going on. Of course he ain't admitting to what my daughter and I know. You know what I'm saying? He ain't admitting that to this white woman. But he got them both. And ain't no telling who else is out there because he's a lying, cheating, sneaking man. And the wife that he's with now is proof. So there you go. Um, so in my mind, you know, it's been 10 years. Sugar Baby should have alimony. I should have alimony for life, and the Sugar Baby should have alimony for life, no matter, who her other men are. The other men that she got babies with, they should be paying out for life too. So that's where the polyandry part comes in, because I've had two legal husbands. Now, have I had other types of husbands that were not legal? Yes. I've had other types of husbands that were not legal. And hey, I should be on their payroll too. But we don't live in that kind of world in the American world system. It don't roll out that way. Only in the kingdom of Most High. And in the kingdom of Most High, I'm still working my way around. Working my way around. So right now I'm solo. I'm solo in the divine kingdom of Most High. I'm solo. I'm not partnered up with anybody, not legally or anything else, not sexually, financially. You know, I'm solo now. Yeah, I represent myself. Most High has reclaimed me. I'm so thankful because you don't know if Most High is going to always quote unquote take you back. When you allow uh uh the Bible call them brute beast of a men, type of men, when you allow them to come in your life and kind of wreck it up, you can only you can just wait. I had to wait for Most High to pull me back in. I felt like he did. And I'm like, yes. I mean, this is recent, fresh, fresh. So I should be, you know, sharing more about me now as I move forward. I'm excited about that. And rolling out the what do you call it? My um eternal deficit of mankind theory. That's what I mean by me. I can focus on me. I can focus on my theory now. I've been working on this theory for, let me see, since about maybe, let's say 2012, 2011, 2012, around there. I've been working on this when we opened up the marriage. Ever since because we spent a whole year researching open marriages. So that research is a part of my research. The joint research that my ex and I did, where we were constantly emailing each other back and forth information about it. We were in Facebook. I had created a Facebook group, several. So we were in Facebook groups together. I mean, this was a joint venture professionally at first. And then he decided to pull out after he didn't got, his little wee wee wet. He got his wee wee wet real good and decided, you know, I'm gonna jump out real quick. I'm like, how's that fair? Well, I'm not gonna jump out. I'm gonna continue with my research, you know, uh, and gain life experience. And so here it is, several years later, and I'm ready. I have scripture and life experience and everything to go in this book to prove that man, man, males in the divine kingdom, people with penises, divine wee wees, they owe most high. They owe most high because of his command of be fruitful, multiply, be kind, and leave an inheritance. Be fruitful, multiply, kind, loving, treat each other, according to the fruits of the spirit, stuff like that. Treat each other well, and then leave everything behind to the next generation. That's what the divine kingdom of Most High does. People in the world matrix system, most of those people do not. Most of those people just party their money away and make the next generation just suffer through the pain of starting over and starting over. It's like the world matrix system is about each generation, starting from scratch. And that's a violation. That's a huge violation in the divine most high system. A system where each generation has to keep starting over from scratch. Oh my goodness. That means there are a lot of men that is not paying for the sex. They are not providing for their women and children in the world system. Some men want to live like that. And they just bounce from one woman with kids to the next house to the next house. It don't matter what their tax bracket is. It's still a mindset and against Most High. The eternal deficit of mankind. in the kingdom and out of the kingdom. But in the kingdom, he deals with it. He deals with it. I'm new over here. I just got reclaimed. I'm new over here. I'm meeting people, far and few between. Far and few between. But I am meeting people. I was not in a marriage that lived divinely the second time. So 25 years of my life, I was out of order. I conformed. I'm a conformist. I'm so goofy. But yeah, that's like being a conformist. And when he left me, pretty much left me for dead. And see, I'm being dramatic. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be in movies and TVs and stuff. I got to be dramatic. I mean, it's not like I'm lying. I'm just dramatic with the truth. So I had to pray and wait on the Lord to reclaim me. And He has. Oh my God. Thank you, Lord. I was so like waiting. Oh. Hmm. I had just been obedient, living off of inspiration, you know, inspiration of divinity. But I actually, in my soul, feel the reclaiming of Most High because I have been living in darkness, in a marriage that told me to my face that my dark skin was evil. Always had women in my face, you know. Y'all know my story if you've been following me. But I'm free now, y'all. I'm at liberty to enjoy the kingdom, the divine kingdom of Most High as a soloist. A soloist. I can enjoy the kingdom. I'm fresher on this side. So, it's going to take a minute to get acquainted. But in the meantime, I have permission to tell my story. But I noticed that my story is shifting. I'm going to be focusing more on me and my theory, the eternal deficit of mankind, and how I gathered my research. And I have like 4,500 videos on here, to help me pull all this stuff together. And then I have, like written materials and books and of course the Bible and written things and stuff written on hotel papers. And I have all these little, um, let's see, diagrams. Yeah. Diagrams and charts and stuff on envelopes and hotel notepads. You know, this has been years of work, at least since 2011. At least since 2011, worth of material. That's a long time, a lot of research, but it's all going to come together. It's going to take time. I'm sharing some of it on here, but it's just too much to share on here. It's just way too much. So at some point, I'm going to have to schedule out some time to go to the library so I can just get away from home and have somewhere else to just sit and type. But if I can learn how to copy and paste the trans- transcripts on here, I can just copy and paste all my words, all the stuff I've said on my videos, copy and paste it, and then, change words and stuff around. So, yeah, And you guys can do it too. Anything that's on my channel that I share, Most High gave it to me to put on here. I'm inspired to be on here. So you can share my stuff, use my stuff, create stuff from my stuff, give me credit if you want to. But I mean, who's going to be out there, credit checking? I'm not going to be out there credit checking. I'm not going to be out there tracking people down with copyright issues and all. I'm not. YouTube is free, and I'm putting this stuff out here for you guys to use. Use it to your benefit. I am. So thank you guys once again. Thank you once again. It seemed like I had made 2 videos earlier this morning. One posted and the other one, I just don't even see it. I'm like, where did it go? You know? But this is 111:07. Okay, I want to stop it. Okay, bye. Bye, guys. Love you. Thank you.